happens. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through. Hang on, if I just share my screen a second. Bear with me. Hang on, let me just get the correct page up. Okie dokie. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen now. So this is the Ready Player 3 hackathon. And then if I go to the Create Project button and confirm that I am not, in fact, a robot, mountains or hills, this is a waste of time, isn't it? Okay, they are satisfied that I'm not a robot. That's great. So what I just wanted to do is go through each of these steps and then just explain a little bit about what we expect to see, what the kinds of things you can write, because I have done a few hackathons and I have done them on DevPost and filled out these, and I actually think that it's not too clear, like what are they looking for, what will lead me to success. Maybe you've built some awesome project but you don't know how to explain it, or you've built a proof of concept and it's got not completely complete, but you want to be able to articulate exactly what your project was meant to do and how far you've got, and then also maybe what your starting point was, because I think that's super important, because you might have started knowing literally nothing about Web3 and then have built something almost to the point of completion but not have actually been able to complete it, and that is still super valid, because number one, you'll have learned loads, and number two, that's super impressive. So yeah, I just want to walk through each of these and just explain a little bit about what you could say and just that kind of thing. So I am going to do that now. Hang on a second, bear with me. Right, so I'm going to skip this step because obviously you guys know how to invite teammates. Also remember that you can do a submission on your own if you have not managed to find a team. I have actually only worked in a team once. My other hackathon submission was solo. I actually really enjoy doing it solo. So if you are still unsure on your project and you don't have a team, then please feel free to do a submission on your own. That is absolutely a-okay. So just in this project overview page, obviously give your project a name, like that's kind of self-explanatory, but in this elevator pitch, basically on DevPost, where there'll be a page of all of the submissions at the end. It'll be like a gallery, and this is just your tile. What is your title? And then a very short tagline about your project. I want to be sold in that one tagline. This is the thing that makes it different, and this is what it does in one sentence, because obviously it's got to fit in underneath this little box here, so it's going to be super tiny, and I want to click on it. So that is what you can write for that section. In order for me to be able to move on, I actually need to fill this out. So hang on, let me just go get my stock answer. Here's one that I did earlier. We love a bit of that. Who watched Blue Peter out there? And then I'm just going to call it something like test project. So as you can see, I'd be winning no prizes here. Okay, so this is the page which is super important, because it is basically a little essay about your project. And if you click in here, it will give you some prompts as to what, oh, apparently it'll disappear, but it will give you some prompts as to what to write in this section. So obviously no one wants just like a blank sheet, do they? So essentially, I'm going to go through each section and just say what you can put in each of these sections. So if for the inspiration, I want to know what you were intended to create with this game. Why did you create it? Was there a gap or an issue that you were trying to solve? Who was it targeted towards? How did you come to the decision of creating this game? I want to have an idea of your creative process on how you came to the idea for this project. What made it so cool? What made it interesting? That kind of thing. I want to understand what those step-by-steps were to coming to the idea. I mean, it doesn't have to be super involved, but maybe that is your point of difference. Maybe the idea, the inspiration was the point of difference. And then for what it does, I want you to be as concise as possible. I want you to obviously describe your game and how it works, but try and keep things high level. Some technical speak is okay and maybe necessary to explain why your game is cool and how it's different, but try and keep it as concise as possible, because it can be a little bit rambly and like, you know, it does this thing, but then you get to the end of the sentence and you're like, but okay, but what does this game actually do? So that is what I would like you to do there. And then how we built it, maybe you can go into a little bit more granular, each step, how each layer, how was it built? What tools did you use? How did you use 3rd Web to create your game? What 3rd Web tools did you use? What other tools did you use to sort of help in the process? And how did it go from idea through to a fully fledged game? If you did create a fully fledged game, if you didn't, then just describe it up to the point where you feel like, you know, you've come to at the end of the deadline. It's absolutely okay. I just want to reiterate, it's absolutely okay if your game is not completely finished. Please still submit. And then in the challenges, obviously you're going to go through the challenges, but I want you to be super honest. Like, where did you get stuck? And if you solved that problem, how was it solved? Did you join a Discord group? What did you have to learn? Where was your workflow most impeded? What about 3rd Web did you not like? What, just anything that you ran into that was a problem? Maybe it was something that, you know, you're like, there's no wrong answer here. You're not going to be penalized because you struggled. You're actually going to be credited because you were able to overcome these problems. And actually that feedback is super useful for us. We want to know what is actually not so good about our product as well. So this section is super, super important because it enables us to be able to see the journey that you've come through to creating your project, and therefore the amount of effort that you have put into this. And that sort of segues onto the accomplishments, because we know that you've put so much effort and time into these projects. So I want to know that you're proud of that. You know, even if it's just, I'm proud that I created a submission, that is totally valid. Maybe you added in an extra functionality that you weren't expecting, or you thought of something new and you're like, I'm really proud of how this creative journey that I went through to be able to actually learn and produce this thing that I never knew about before. So it's super open-ended, that section. And then obviously you're going to have learned a ton when creating your games. So I want to know what you learned. What was your starting point? Did you know nothing before? Did you know loads before and you learned a new skill for this? Maybe you didn't learn anything at all, but you probably will have learned something, and you'll have learned something about your workflow, or maybe you'd never used 3rd Web before, and so you had to learn how to use 3rd Web and how did it help your workflow, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to check back in the chat. Okay, it's all good there. So then for the final section, actually you can't see there you go. Then for the final section, sorry that you couldn't see those prompts before. I don't know why it keeps going away if I go on to the other tab. Anyway, what's next for your project? So I want to know, because the most obvious answer here would be, oh, we want to build this other new cool add-on or whatever. But that could be the answer. It could be that, you know, you want to build an extra functionality into your game, or you want to build another sister game or something like that. But it could be, I want to beta test my game. I want to be able to market my game. I want people to use it and then get feedback from those users. I want to publish my game on mainnet, maybe. Maybe you want something to be improved. You don't like a certain aspect of your game. Like, you can be honest here. We're not going to penalize you for that. In fact, it's just going to show that you're like critical of your work, and then you'll be being able to iterate and show improvement, and that is super valid and important. Maybe there's still something broken in your game, and this is why you weren't able to fix it, because there's a gap in your knowledge that you just didn't have the time to fill, and you need someone to help you in order to be able to fully finish this game end to end. And in the accomplishments that we're proud of, or I'm proud of, if you're a solo game maker, then maybe the accomplishment is that you got it to a point where you came from nothing, and then you got it to a point where you're super proud of it, but it's not finished, and you need someone else. You weren't able to be part of a team, and you need someone else to be able to finish finish off your projects. So you can go into as much detail as you would like here, but particularly in what it does, like, you can expand, but I would at least put like a one-liner in there of like, what makes your game different and what does it do? Because it is, as I said before, super easy to not make it not very obvious and get a bit rambly. So that is how you can be successful in this section. In built with, obviously, it's languages, frameworks, platforms, cloud services, databases, APIs, and other technologies that you use. That's kind of straightforward. For the try it out links, this is obviously like your demo site. Like if it's public, can we play the game? I want to be able to play that game myself. If not, then you can feel free to ask questions in our Discord or ping one of us if you want to send it privately. Actually, I think Samina was saying that it has to be public, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so that's what you can put for that. Then in the image gallery, maybe you could put some screenshots of designs that you did. Maybe you do the flow from design through to a screenshot of the full project, or anything that's relevant to the progress of creating your game, you can put in this image gallery. Maybe you actually ended up not being able to complete the full front end, but you have a design for it. Then put that in the image gallery, because we want to see any evidence that you can provide of the effort and time that you put into this, and we want to be able to reward you for that. So that is the image gallery. And then for the video demo link, then this is your chance to kind of sell your game to us. You can just do a demo of you playing the game if you would like, but it'd be really cool to see you present your game to us, play the game and show us how it works, and explain to us in words, and then also a demo of how you do this. There are some great examples of other hackathons where people have created demo videos. A great one is Music with an N, not an M. Music, their demo videos are really, really cool and really good. It doesn't have to be as cool and like fully built out as that. My demo videos were pretty terrible. I was actually ill for mine. So if it's not polished, that is fine. But you can just describe your game, give us a little preview, and yeah, that's what you can do for that. I'm just trying to think if I need to fill any of this out before I can save and continue. I can't. Okay, just put hello. Hello, and I use JavaScript. Cool. Save and continue. Okay, additional information. So this is the section where I'm going to pass over to my amazing colleague, Pat, and he is going to talk through the different sponsor and special prizes that you can add on as additional tracks to the main track.
Thank you so much, Kira. That was super helpful for when I submit my project as a solo team. Just kidding. But no, overall, I know you guys have worked super hard on these projects, and towards the end of it, it's challenging to dig deep after you've just given your all kind of building this game. But it really is like the opportunity to kind of sell and storytell, everything that you've put into it, all that you've built thus far. So make sure to take the time and really put your heart into this, because it helps to kind of make sure we're getting everything, all of that energy and kind of time that you poured into it. To that point, this section is pretty relevant in case you're kind of looking to submit for some of the bonus projects, like Under the Hood, basically using 3rd Web and Coinbase's different components within Gaming Kit, Choose Your Own Adventure, the Trace Cool bounty. So if you're looking to submit to those opportunities, you simply need to tag which one. And so you'll notice that you only have the opportunity to choose one of them. And so within that, select it. If you, SS, I know you had mentioned something about using an alternative kind of game engine. If you are doing that, make sure that you go through the same process. It will get submitted to kind of the main track. And as we're kind of, filtering through the different projects, we'll see that, it didn't use the Unity SDK. And so therefore it has to be eligible for one of the bonus tracks that you selected. The other thing I just want to reiterate quickly is like, make sure you take the time to write a quick synopsis on, a public facing forum like Dev2, Hashnode, even Medium works really well. And if you want to pair that with a video to kind of storytell or demo the game, that would be fantastic as well. I'll pass it back over to Kira. I don't think I missed anything, but yeah, if I will, I'll just drop it in the chat.
I'm just finding the demo link so that of the good demo for music. I can't believe that they were created in a hackathon. So as I said, doesn't have to be as fully built out as that. Yes, that was a really good call out, Pat. Actually, this is your chance to sell your game to us, is to present and tell us everything that's super cool about your project. So yes, I don't think that there is much more in terms of the actual hackathon submission. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But if anyone does have any questions or any issues with your hackathon that you would like to ask, then please come up onto the stage and I will step aside in a second and you can come and stand on this little square and it will allow you to present to the room. Please be mindful of the fact that you will be talking to lots of people. So yes, only positive things here. But yeah, if you have any feedback or questions or anything like that, then please come up onto the stage now and we will be happy to talk to you because this is an open conversation with all of us and super exciting to have you all here. I'm just going to spotlight myself now, so hopefully you can still hear me even though I'm not on the presenter spot. Can you all hear me? Can someone say in the chat? Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to say while we wait for any potential questions that thank you so much to everyone for joining us for this workshop and also for, have you got a question? If you have got a question, then please stand on the little microphone. Oh no, got shy, did you? You do have a question. Oh, you can go through me by pressing G or go the other way, by the way. But I'm happy to walk up here if you do need to walk
if you
around.
sit on any of these comfy looking chairs, which they are super comfortable, my avatar has told me, yeah, you'll be able to speak once you unmute.
Oh,